Hey Juventini, welcome back to the channel. It's August 30th. I'm Alberto. I've got all the latest news surrounding La Vecchiatura. As we get close to deadline day for the Mercato, we're going to tackle all that news and then, of course, take a look ahead at tomorrow's match, Juve Spezia, with Max's press conference from today. Let's get into it. Alright Juventini, friendly reminder to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel. That's all Juve all the time if you haven't already. And for those who have subscribed, thank you for your support. Now let's get to it. Before we get that news though, we got a couple birthday shoutouts that we have to send out. The first going to our Vice President, Pavel Nedved. Alright, so tanti auguri to Pavel Nedved. This guy is a Juventino through and through, okay? And he gave us many great years with Juventus. He was with us from 2001 to 2009. Won 2 Scudetti, 2 Supercoppa Italianas, was very influential in the Champions League for us, and of course Ballon d'Or winner in 2003. Scored many great goals, and one of my favorites was probably that one against Real Madrid after the long ball from Zambrotta, hitting it on the volley and celebrating beneath the curva in Turin. Fantastic memories and moments circulating around Pavel Nedved. So tanti auguri, Pavel. The other is Vladimir Jugovic, okay, was with Juventus for a short time, a couple of seasons, but was with us long enough to still win 4 trophies, okay, winning the Serie A, winning Champions League, winning the Intercontinental Cup, and winning the UEFA Super Cup. And as far as the Champions League goes, if you go back and look to that final against Ajax and the PKs, it was Jugovic who scored the deciding PK. All right, so happy birthday to Vladimir Jugovic. Now let's get to the news, Juventini. Okay, so Paredes is essentially a done deal because Juventus is sending Rovella to Monza, okay? So we're waiting for the final, word on Paredes, but it is all done. PSG was pushing for that obligation. It looks like they're going to land on the same spot that they were talking about a week ago, where it's going to be a loan with an option to purchase that becomes an obligation after certain conditions are reached. And it looks like it's all done and sealed. There were reports Arsenal was stepping in, trying to interfere in this deal and making a strong push for Paredes over the past, 8 hours or whatnot. However, Paredes had agreement with Juventus and had reached this agreement with Juventus for quite some time now. So they had essentially no shot. Paredes had said he has decided on Juventus. So Arsenal take yet another L. All right, there you go. So Paredes coming in, Rovella moving out. Fagioli will remain with Juventus. And this was also reiterated by Max in his presser, which we're going to get to in a bit here. Okay, so Rovella on the move. Fagioli will be staying with Juventus. That's the latest news, okay, unless anything changes, but I doubt it. Marco Piazza is being shopped out by Juventus. This is the story of his time at Juventus. So Lecce and Sampdoria are the 2 teams that he's been shopped to right now as they try and find a solution there. Now, what should be interesting in terms of some of the news that's breaking out here is obviously Milik, who had joined Juventus and whatnot, and fans, everybody was kind of a miss as to how it just broke down with Memphis Depay. Well, today, Nicola Schira has reported that it was actually, there was agreement between Juventus and Depay, and it actually fell through because Barcelona did not terminate Depay's contract, okay? And that's what stalled everything. Juve flipped, did the 180, and went for Milik because Depay was not being terminated by Barcelona. So there you have it. A lot of Juventini that were hot and bothered by management because of what we were led to believe by media and whatnot. It turns out that that's not what the case was, and that Barca did not terminate Memphis Depay. So there you have it. Hope that makes you feel better in terms of our management and the route they're going and the work that they're doing. And hopefully that reinstills some confidence if you felt that it was management's fault that fell through. Now, in terms of Artur, They continue to try and find a solution. Of course, we're getting down to deadline day, the nitty gritty, but potentially Sporting, that is almost like the last club. Juventus will have to take part in the salary in order to move Artur on, okay? But they continue to try and find something for a player who is not in Juve's project whatsoever, and the player himself wants to leave. So fingers crossed they can get a deal done, because that's always the worst, not just for a club, but for a player, when you're just, it's not in your plans or the teams, and you can't find a solution. We've been down this road before, and not far away from it in terms of Ramsey and whatnot. So hopefully that doesn't end up being the case with Artur. And now let's get to the presser. We got Juve Spezia coming up tomorrow, all right? And don't forget, we will be live here at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow for that one to get you hyped up. I also promise you, as I forgot on the last podcast, hey, I've got a good memory, but it's short, all right? But I promised you 3 names. I have the 3 names. Tomorrow morning, I promise you they will be announced, and those 3 will have a shot at the 3 Juventus kits for 22-23 that we're giving away at All JuveCast, okay? So make sure you join just for that. Now, in terms of the presser, he basically spoke about Fagioli and Di Maria, saying that they are available as of tomorrow for Juve Spezia. Starting, I don't expect either to start, but you never know. Maybe Di Maria, but I don't think so. In terms of Bonucci will be back on the weekend against Fiorentina. Pogba resumes training next week, okay? So a lot of good news there in terms of the injury front. We're going into 6 games in 19 days. Got to get everybody fit. So great news on Fagioli, Di Maria, and even Pogba returning to training next week. In terms of Gatti, Max Allegri has good words and feelings about him, and saying that he's very, very satisfied with the work Gatti's been putting in. In terms of Milik, he says Milik could potentially start next to Dusan Vlahovic tomorrow, but he could also start off the bench. So my quick thoughts on that is, if you're going to play Milik and Vlahovic, it would have to be a 3-5-2, because if we're going to go 2 forwards to get this 4-4-2 hybrid, I don't like that. Not only that, but we should build off what we had against Roma. I don't care who the opposition is. I said that during the watch along for Juve Roma. That's the way we need to approach all games moving forward. It's been the best ball we've seen in a while. Build off that. Okay, so play with the same dynamics in the midfield. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same players. Play with the same dynamics, okay? And in terms of building chemistry with the players, they need to do that and have that continuity in order to gain that chemistry. There's no need for a 4-4-2 hybrid. It's been very, very flat, stagnant, stale, slow. Go back to that. That's turn 4-3-3 turns into a 4-2-3-1 on the ball with a 2-man pivot and 1 advancing midfielder. Play in that manner, and I think we have something that we can move forward with. So I'd be really, really disappointed if, just because it's Spezia, we don't go back to that and allow our players to gain that chemistry. That's my quick thoughts. That's your news break to today, August 30th. Juventini, you know the drill, all right? Get in the comment section. Give me your thoughts, opinions, questions even about what you're feeling right now, and I can't wait to mix it up with you. And tomorrow morning, make sure you're here live with us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, all right? Till then, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao.